We are halfway through the year 2026 and it's time to talk about the best films I've seen so far. Hello guys, I'm Nona and we do such videos every year. Now it's not like the one we do at the end of the year where I rank all the films I saw in 3 levels. In this video I'll have my top 10 and we'll also talk about my special mentions. And I don't even need to say this, you have to tell me your top picks in the comments below. Now I'm a human being and it's impossible to watch every film that came out in the first 6 months. And remember, we are sticking to first 6 months. I know I'm late, sorry for that. There are already so many films that came out in July, but we'll not discuss them yet. Now I have a list of films which I missed, which could have been really good and should have been part of this video, but whenever I watch them, I'll include them in my final ranking in the end of the year video. So here are the films I missed: Blast, Bandar, Backrooms, Rao Bahadur, Hamnet, Assi, Hoppers, Dug Dug, Chinna Chinna Asai, The Furious, and Project Hail Mary. And there is a big reason behind that. I could have watched it, but I thought no, I will watch it in IMAX. And I even ordered the book it's based on, that I'll read it and then I'll watch it. And both of the things haven't happened yet. Sadly, that's the thing. And now I'm waiting when I'll get to watch it in IMAX again if it releases or something like that. Fingers crossed. And now it's time for top 10. And if you have been following me, it's going to be a surprising list. There are a lot of different, films in the list. And again, disclaimer as always, it's my personal view, my personal taste, my ranking. You can always differ with it, you don't need to agree to that. So let's begin. At number 10 is Dhurandhar The Revenge. I'm sure there'll be a lot of divide on this pick. Like one side would say, why would you even include this in top 10? And the other would say, it should have been higher in the list. But for me, it was a film with flaws, with issues, with a lot of things. But you can just not look away from the amazing storytelling that continued from the first film. Aditya Dhar just carried that forward and even scaled it up from the first film comparatively. Of course, they were shot together, it was one single film, but it still works. The whole journey of Jaskirat and Hamza, the way we follow it, the way we reach the climax. I did have my own issues at certain points, but I've rewatched it now 3 times, and by the end it all just works really well. There's so many genius moments throughout the film that you just cannot let it go. The filmmaking, the direction, the music, the acting, like every department was just outstanding. Number 9 is the Malayalam film Vada 2. I know it will be higher for many people, but I feel as a whole film, it's not too high for me. Like the ending, just you cry. It just gets you. It's emotional. The performances are really good. The storytelling is well done, but the first half takes its time. And I noticed that in the second watch. I was much more interested in waiting for the last portion to come than being invested in the first half. But still, it's a top pick of the year, and I think I've already talked about this film a lot in a whole live stream. Also, if you haven't seen, definitely check it on the channel. Number 8 is a Telugu film Sing Geetam, a film directed by a 94-year-old, and that is not the reason it's in the top 10. It's the genius idea behind the film. As I said in my review, the first 20 minutes were rough for me, but once you get into the film, the main point, the musical, the way they implement that with the social messaging, it was just outstanding. The way they executed it all, the way the lyrics were written for each moment, the way it was performed all together, like I was just blown away by that. If you haven't seen it, the film is out on Netflix, definitely have a look. It's something special that Telugu cinema delivered this year, and there are many more things that they're going to deliver, which I'm looking forward to. Number 7 is the Hollywood sensation Obsession. I am not into horror films at all, but the word of mouth for this film was so crazy, made at a budget of $750,000. Is that the right term? Whatever. And it has made over $400 million. That makes it the most successful film ever made. But apart from all that, all the hype around the film is actually really good. It is horror, but it's also about the creepy moments. It's also about, the psychological aspect of it. What made it really stand for me was the layers in the film. On the surface, the term obsession may appear something else, but after watching the film, that changes. And the film is, much more than the experience and the horror stuff. It's saying so many things, and over that, the performances, the music, the way it was shot, and then when you find out the budget of the film, the way they pulled it off, just brilliant. It's still running in theaters even in India, so if you haven't watched it, try to catch it, or you can wait for the OTT release. It will happen soon. Number 6 is another film that kind of became a sensation in itself, the Bollywood film Main Vapas Aunga, which made just 1 crore on day 1 of its release and then went on to make almost 90 crores worldwide. That rarely happens. That tells you the word of mouth of the movie was so strong that it pulled audiences in the later weeks, that they literally had to double the shows in the 3rd and 4th weeks, and the film is still playing in theaters. Finally, Imtiaz Ali got its due. People came to theaters to call it a cult classic instead of waiting it to fade and then 10 years later call it that. Again, so well made. The performances, Nasiruddin Shah just killed it. The way the film deals with a very sensitive topic, gives it the attention it needs, doesn't shy away from showing the truth. It makes you feel the pain of the character characters, of the things people went through, but by the end, it leaves you with a catharsis. It's not about making you angry, but giving you a sense of peace, even though it is not a happy ending at all. That is what the film achieved. My review for this film is on the Hindi channel Nona Prince Filmy. You can watch it there. Number 5 is a very hatke choice. The English film The Sheep Detectives. I've already seen the film thrice. Now it's on OTT. You can watch it, and it's one of the loveliest film I've seen this year. And it's a film that grows on you. It's almost like, Kung Fu Panda or a Three Idiots for me, which I can watch anytime, any day. That's the rewatch value of this film. It is so cute. It is so fun to watch. There's so many jokes which I actually missed in the first watch, and later in the rewatches I realized them. And over that, the social commentary of the film, through the world view of the sheep, they're actually talking about so many things in our world. That's what we call layering. On surface level, it's very fun to watch, entertaining, but the film has deeper meanings, which they pulled off extremely well. I'm sure I'll end up watching this film more times in the year. Number 4 is the Malayalam film Mollywood Times by Abhinav Sundar Nayak. Really like this film. For me, it was a masterpiece of the director, because the way he blended his own story of coming up in the industry, of different things that happen to people, blending all that into a narrative and still not getting very indulgent with it. There is a starting, middle and end to the narrative, and it's a very different and refreshing perspective of films about films, how cinema works, what goes behind the scenes, and all of this is done in a very wacky manner of the director. His fingerprint is all over the film, and that makes it stand out. And I think Naslin just gave one of his best performances of his career, at least how much I have seen of his work. The film is out on OTT now. If you want a detailed analysis of the film, let me know. We'll do that. And before we move ahead, if you're enjoying this video, to hype it. That's a new term that's come. I'll really appreciate that. Number 3 is the English film The Drama, starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Heard a lot about it. There was a great word of mouth. It was playing near me. So I thought, let's go catch it. What's all about? And I was just blown away by the film. The tension the film creates. It is such a simple film, with few characters. There's nothing drastic going on. It's not a big scale film. It is such a simple story but blows up like a bomb. With the editing style, the film just keeps you hooked until the point where the inciting incident happens, and then the film just flips. And from that point to the end of the film, I was just tensed. I don't remember a film has kept me tense for that long. And it's also a film, where you as a viewer, if you are in the shoes of the characters, even you wouldn't know what to do. Even you are clueless. And that's why you are more interested to know what the characters will do. For me, that's what made this film stand out. Great performances, amazing filmmaking. If you missed it, definitely big recommendation from my side. Moving to number 2, the Malayalam film Balan by Chidambaram. Definitely my top Malayalam film of the year, at least till now. It is superbly made, superbly acted. Again, outstanding storytelling. The finesse, the craft, it's at display. I said in my review that watching this film, you don't even realize it's a thriller, and then it hits you. And what makes it special is this film is coming after Manjumal Boys from the director. He could have done any big project, but he chose to do this small intimate film and deliver. Again, I've done a whole spoiler deep dive on this movie. Definitely check it on the channel. And now it's time for the number 1 film for me till now in this year 2026, and it is the Marathi film Tiggy. Again, a film I heard word of mouth for. People are saying it's a really good film, definitely check it out, and it was playing near me, so I thought let's go check it out in the theater. And within 5 minutes, you can tell you're watching a great piece of cinema. The way it's shot, the way the characters are interacting, the way the scenes are unfolding in front of you. You're just dropped into the world of these characters, and then you just see what's going on. It's an outstanding family drama with amazing performances. The chemistry between the actors was outstanding. The storytelling is just amazing. The cinematography, it is trying to show you so many things that happens in real world, but you just ignore all of it. This film makes you confront difficult topics, and the end of the film will be a big surprise for you. But even before that, the way they build the drama between the characters, there's something going on with each one of them. The way their lives are entangled with each other, them pushing each other away is just making things worse, and how actually confronting things makes things better. The film is made by women, it's led by women, and it was one of the most pleasant surprise of this year. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it on Z5. So those are my top 10 picks of the year so far. What did you think of them? Definitely let me know. Now it's time for the special mentions in no particular order. Maya Sabha, Ikkis, The Rip, Pennam Porotam, Elio, Michael, Sambhavam Chapter 1, Karup, Athiredi, Yudh, Chatha Pacha, Devil's Wear Prada 2, Supergirl, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but I had a good time with it. Bharatnatyam 2, Mohiniyattam, Thai Kidavi, Drishyam 3, and Mastishk Marnam. I always try my best to make such list and don't miss out any film, but still it always happens. Now, of course, there are films which I've watched, but I didn't mention them in this video because I didn't think you need to mention them. But if you think there are films which I missed talking about in this video, let me know in the comments too. Now there's 6 more months to go in the year, and already in July there have been really good films which I'm going to talk about in the future, and hoping for more such ones. So thank you for watching this video. If you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. Like, share, subscribe, hype the video, and I will see you next time.